I'm Adam Stack, and we're here in Iceland. So I started visiting Iceland about 4 years ago. A place for me that is a balance between both worlds, I guess. I feel very connected any place in Iceland. Different than I do in Boston, and I have a different life in Boston than I do here in Iceland. So it's kind of a interesting mix of both worlds, I guess.
Do you think you're kind of a different person here and in Boston?
I think I'm more, yeah. To answer that question, yes, but I think I'm experiencing who I truly am naturally here. Like, there's things I find out about myself almost daily or every time I visit this place that point my life in a different direction or make me experience things differently or interact with people differently, which is very cool because I can take that into my life in Boston and try to manipulate that a little bit to the things I'm learning here in Iceland. That I think a lot of people have seen this change in me, and I think in life, if we're not changing, if we're not growing, it's just like this stagnant place, and I'm always in a search for something new. And maybe this is one of the reasons why I like Iceland so much, because it's just a lesson every time I come here. Instead of basic life that I created in Boston of get up, work, family life, rinse, wash, repeat. So.
Was it a particular moment in your life when you decided to spend more time in Iceland, or when Iceland appeared?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I had mentioned earlier, but I came from this culture of go to school, work hard, become find a partner, have a family, get married, kids, be successful, like this whole dream of what it needs to be successful in Boston. And I worked really hard to do that, and I did, and I had an amazing partner throughout that journey of my life. Unfortunately, that did not last, and it was a while for me to actually make that decision to move on, but I still believe it was the right decision for me. And after kind of that milestone in my life, my divorce, I just needed to maybe find something new, and travel was never something I was into. Nature was never something I was into. I'm very much into running and hiking and exploring and all these things I never knew I was into because it was always work, family, so after I kind of had that world shattered, Iceland was a suggestion from my brothers to come to, and I just came here and quickly fell in love and started learning about nature and all the things that make me happy inside, and learning about myself and what actually makes me tick, and the things that I actually enjoy and some things I don't enjoy, but these were things that I naturally got to experience. I wasn't force-fed, if that makes any sense. So this is how you're supposed to do this, and then that's the next step, and then that's the next step, and yeah, you don't have time for that, so don't even worry about it. That was earlier in life. You can't do that now. I do things now at 40 plus years old that I don't think my 28-year-old version could have done. I don't think he had the mindset for it or even the physical ability to do it. So I think that was a big turning point in my life, and I've adapted to this new lifestyle, and I don't want to go back to this other lifestyle. And I want to show my children and people around me that there are other options for life, and life is meant to be lived, not just to go through the motions.
Is Iceland, because there is a lot about solitude.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you mentioned community quite a lot.
Yeah.
Is it a certain? I'm just imagining that. Is it certain type of solitude that makes you connect more with the people around you, or something completely different? Or it is a very lonely way of being, but then it allows you to get to know yourself, and then. Tell me, what is it for you?
Yeah, so I think what I've said, and the solitude part, like everybody thinks about solitude as like a negative. I don't think it's negative. I think it's very much needed in life. I think it's a great way to disconnect from a character that you've built, or this vision of yourself. Solitude for me, like, just lets me experience who I am, what my mind is actually thinking, like where I want to go in life, and whatever direction that may lead. So I think solitude is a good thing. What I find with the people, when you say community in Iceland, is that there's a common core in every person that I meet, and none of us are the same, but there's a common thread that brings us to this place and wants to stay here. And I think that's why when my path crosses another person's path in Iceland, that we resonate so easily, and we become, I don't need to say friends, but we're acquaintances. And if there's something they ever needed, like, they could call me and I could call them, a question, a hand, anything. And that's the community that I've built in Iceland, and most of them aren't where my farm is. They're all over the country here, and it's become a really interesting community. And you kind of see the tourists that are around here, and you kind of appreciate them differently, and you say, well, those people are here just for the Instagram photos or whatever. And then this person that's actually asking me about these hikes, or wants to know about this waterfall, or where they should go and visit, or really want to experience the things that I've experienced, and they possibly have that same common thread. So to get back to it, the solitude here is all choice. If you want to be by yourself, you can be by yourself. If you want to be with people, you can be with people. It's whatever, like, you feel at that moment. And I do both. Sometimes I like to be in Reykjavik. Sometimes I like to be up on a mountain in a tent. It doesn't matter.
Are you religious?
Yeah. Spiritual, for sure. Yeah. I grew up through, I was an altar boy at church, and I went to mass every Sunday. That's changed for me. I still have a connection with God. Like, it's in me. It's nothing I can get rid of. It's there every day, and not that I would want to get rid of it, but it doesn't mean my church is not the same as it used to be, that I have to go to this church every day to pray to a God that I'm sorry for doing this, I'm sorry for doing that. It's very much he's very much present to me actually when I'm in the mountains, and maybe that's why I want to be in the mountains so much, or in that peace, because it's where I feel connected most, and where I feel like the visions or the thoughts that are trying to come through my head are the clearest, and I know they're coming from a spiritual place. So it's very, very much a channel when I'm in nature. So there's been a change. So to answer the question, yeah, I am religious, but maybe not the same as it looked like when I was 13.
Do you come there with certain questions, or
the questions
to this
always
channel?
Come. I don't need to ask the questions. It just comes to me. Like the thoughts in my head, the questions are given. Like I said, sometimes I'll wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I have there's something that needs to come out of me, and I'm writing it down, and then I wake up the next day and I'm like, I'm glad you wrote that down, because there's no way you would have remembered that, but like, where did that come from?
Do you call yourself an artist?
Yeah, I don't think I'm an artist in the form of brushstrokes, but I think the way I express myself through even poetry, through visual art, capturing pictures, putting small videos together, that I enjoy it. I enjoy expressing that. I think I have a visual eye for seeing things before they exist, for sure. I think that's probably why I was very successful in my career as a plumber, and seeing that stuff. And I'm very much into renovation and rebuilding houses and design, taking something old, bringing it back to life, putting new values into something that was existent before. And that's one of the main reasons I really am super excited about Huskelstarra, is because, like, when you go there, you're gonna feel this power, and you're gonna remember this conversation, and you're gonna be like, wow, he's right. But there's a life there that lived before and will live again, and just peeling back layers of like abandoned life and motion stopped that like slowly I'm bringing back to life is like really fulfilling, and it's artistic because I can see what this place will be in the next 5 years, and it's very much at the beginning stages. I mean, today is 1 year that I saw this place and woke up in the most beautiful valley of my ever seen in my life, and said that I want to buy this place and I want to be a part of this place and have it for people so they can understand the power and the presence of the space.
What is I'm curious about this 3rd of November. I know you mentioned a lot, but let's forget that you mentioned a lot. I just arrived.
Okay.
What happened there?
On the 3rd of November? Okay. So, do you want to know about like how I found out about the property, or?
No, maybe just how, whatever you find important. But
I think it's part of it's important about the story is after visiting Iceland for 4 years and just a constant like yearning to be back, I decided to look for a small summer cabin outside of Reykjavik, and I found one, and a friend of mine who's become a really, really good friend, Nico, I spoke to him about it, and I asked him his opinion, and he was helping me get to the offer stages of this property. And unfortunately, or fortunately enough, I didn't get that property. And the realtor, kind of, trying to be a realtor, wanted to know, well, who's this Adam? What is he looking for? And I quickly said to the realtor, or to Nico, I forget now, but it was expressed as, I'm looking for mountains, some type of body of water, whether it's a river, water, lake, ocean, lots of land, peace, and I love horses, and I love restoration. And I said, if you can find that, then we'll make something work. And he's like, well, you're not going to believe this, I have that. And I go, no, you don't. And he goes, no, I do. It doesn't matter where it is. It's not in Reykjavik. I said, no, it doesn't matter where it is. Like, if it had all those things, I would like to see it, and I don't think it'll make a difference where it is. So he says, well, it's in the east, and if you want to go see it, please go visit. And I said, oh, of course, because I don't believe you. I want to go see this place. So I was in Iceland, up in the highlands, in a really beautiful place. And I met up with Nico the night after, on the 2nd, and we drove. I think it was so late. I think we drove at like maybe 8 or 9 o'clock at night. We met and we drove to Höskuldsstaðir, arriving on November 3rd, 2024. Snow-covered valley, pitch black at night. We didn't know where the cabin was, where the house was, anything like that. But we did find the house at like, I think 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And we drove up to it, opened the door. Both of us were exhausted. He went upstairs to the loft. I went into the little bedroom. We fell asleep. I felt like it was Christmas, and I just wanted to see the next morning. So I think we both almost woke up at the same time. At that time, I think it was about 7:30, and we both came down and said, should we go out? And we went out, and we sat on the porch and just overlooked the sunrise. Just this pink, orange, warm glow of white, snow-covered valley, and these mountain peaks just sticking out of it. And I was like, wow. I'm like, this place, he was right. This is it. And an overwhelming sense of peace and power and home was that morning. And it hasn't left. And from that day, I was like, I remember me and Nico went for a nice little hike that day, and I said, this is it, man. I go, this is it. I gotta figure out how I can buy this place. I gotta figure it out, and this is it for me. And there was a little hesitation, I think, from him, because like I the east of Iceland is not a really tourist place, but again, for me, it's not about bringing the masses to the east. It's about bringing a special person with a common thread that will appreciate the space. And I know that there are, out of the million plus tourists here, there are hundreds of thousands that can fit that bill. So it didn't matter that it's in Reykjavik. If I create a space and I bring the right components to it, and I get that to the people that need to see that, they'll come and visit. And I think that was once Nico saw the passion that I had for the place, then he was like, okay man, I agree, like let's do it. So that was 1 year ago today. And if you can imagine what happened in a year, I can't even tell you what happened from, taking my boys there in November. The following 2 weeks later, I took my boys there to show them this place because I wanted them to see how they felt about it and see if they were excited about it. And we got stuck in the cabin in a snowstorm. So me and my two sons were in this little cabin having our little Thanksgiving dinner, stuck in a snowstorm in the middle of a valley, 20-40 minutes away from the nearest town. No internet at that time, with no internet there, and it was just the three of us. And it's one memory I'll never forget. To coming back in the spring and seeing the snow melt and the colors that you'll see in these mountains that I didn't see in November. Just such a new, eye-opening place for me to adventure. To cleaning out the main house, which is going to be such a working process of trash and years of emptiness, 5 years just abandoned, but slowly with my hands, like cleaning it and bringing it back to life, and people seeing this like, wow, what have you done? I said, all I've done is cleaned it and put life back into this place. But the renovations haven't even started yet, but it feels like a home. It's coming alive, and knowing that there were horses there, and just having my own horses there, and like having that special connection with them, from 2-year-old young gelding to 13-year-old mare that's well trained and ready to ride, like this huge, vast life form happening back there. It's just something that brings me pure joy. So I hope you can experience that when you get there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you how did you meet Casper, or how you decided to put Cabin Under there?
Yeah, so and I came across my Instagram, and I was just like, wow, this is really amazing. And I was just loved the idea of his passion of creating this cabin for his mother, and in the space that they had, and the story behind that, and what it is, and thinking about what I want to create in the East. And I don't want it to be so cookie cutter and the same as everything else in Iceland. I said, wow, I mean, could you imagine that up on the hill there, opened up with the sky, and all you're doing is seeing even if it's just a morning sunrise or the northern lights, or even a rainstorm like pounding on the glass, but you're in there, you're in nature. Like, it's just amazing to be able to have something like that. And I looked online and read his description of what it was, and I asked if he wanted to see about maybe putting one in Iceland. And we had a really cool meeting, and I showed him videos and pictures, and he was like, yes, like, when can I come see this place? So
I believe there is you have similar connection to nature.
Yeah.
Did you, I don't know, expected it, that someone who created it would have similar maybe approach to life as you have?
To be honest with you, yeah, because I truly believe everything in life is connected through a thread, and it's meant to happen. So like, I think that for somebody to create that space and not have that depth inside of him, it would be impossible. So for me to see that space and his pictures just resonate with me, it was just a connection. So I wasn't sure exactly how he would be. He's such a humble person, like, which I really appreciate. I try to be as humble as I can, and not just, well, look at me, look what I've created, and I'll let you know if I want to have this on your land. Like, it was nothing like that. It was just like, well, I want to know if your values align with my values, because if they do, then this will be a harmonious relationship.
And less transactional, as you mentioned.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is there something that Iceland is teaching us?
I can learn a lot from Iceland. To be prepared. Number one, this is something that you need to be, and I think to be present. I think I'm always more present here than I am other places. Yeah. I think Iceland teaches me just to really appreciate life and where it comes from and the experiences and that there's so much more to life than just this box that people might be living in.
Do you think it's if I don't know, I want to say your previous life, but of course it's not previous.
My alter ego.
But, do you think Iceland is a chapter and there might be another one, and
I hope so.
And you don't know about it? It's
Yeah.
the same way you didn't know about Iceland chapter?
Yeah, no, I hope that Iceland, I know, for example, Boston will always be a part of my life. I know Iceland will always be a part of my life. But I also think about, like I said, I'm 41 years old now, and what I've done in 41 years old. In 41 years, like, I can't wait to see what I can do in the next 40 years. And if that's 40 years of Iceland, great. If that's 10 years of Iceland and another 10 somewhere else, then great. But for me, I posted something this morning that's just like, for me, it's like the mind of a wanderer, or the soul of a passion of a wanderer. There's no joy in the destination. The passion comes from the journey, in the experiences of life. So like, I think I have like this wandering soul that is always yearning for a new experience. And maybe it's been released since this, maybe Iceland released it for me, because maybe if I never came here, then this wouldn't have happened. But I think everything, like I said, in life happens for a reason, and without that, period of my life, I wouldn't be able to be doing what I'm doing right now. So I'm very blessed and happy that I did that, and I can take away what I took away from that, but I don't want that to be the rest of my life. I'm always looking for something new to explore, to create, to be a part of. So there's other thing that Iceland's taught me is patience. And it's helping me as a person, because I'm very much like, I see something, I'm like, okay, A, B, C, D, it'll be there. And I want it done like that. I come from a world where that's possible. Here, it just takes time. And I have to learn to be okay with that and understand that, like, in the right time, it will be there and it'll be ready. And if that's a year, 2 years, 6 months, whatever that is, like, it'll be okay. Just because it's not done tomorrow doesn't mean it's not. It's not right. It will be there when it's there, and I've had to learn to have patience with this thought process, through business, through construction, through health, through life, through partnership. Just have patience with people.
How does it feel now? You know that it will come, but it's not there yet. Kind of imagine it to be there.
I can already see it there. So in my head it's already there. And now it's just like having the right people to get the processes in place, and work at their schedules and understand what their schedules look like. But for me, it already exists there, just as I know Casper sees it there already too. So it's just the parts and pieces till it actually is physically there.
What is poetry for you?
What is what?
Poetry.
Poetry? I mean, this is so new to me too. Like I think within a year, to be honest with you, poetry. I'm not really good at grammar either. So like, sometimes I'm spell checking my poetry, but it's just like there's this flow of words and expression that like wants to come out. It's not that I'm sitting down at the table because I want to be a poet. Like, all of a sudden I'm walking in the mountain, and it's just flowing through my head. It's just like a silent whisper through my head, And I love it when it comes. I don't force it. Like, it's not anything ever forced. It's something that comes. I'll write it down, and maybe sometimes it resonates that moment or in a different time. But it's new. I love it. I don't want it to stop. I really do enjoy it.
I don't know why, but this thought came to me. I want to ask: is there any space for doubt in the relation to this place, or maybe? I mean, first option in my mind, then no, there's none. And second one, that maybe it comes in waves, but at the same time, the space helps to overcome it.
What do you mean doubt? Like, what do you mean, like, doubt that it doesn't make sense or won't work, or?
Yeah, something like a very human being doubt, like as we all doubt ourselves. I think, I don't know. I also, if not.
No, this is a great question. No, I actually love. No, I love this question. I believe that we are creators. Like, we can create something, and it's maybe something you can't do alone. But the visions that come to you, for whatever reason they came to you, were meant to be expressed. And something that is such a constant in your mind, something you're thinking about, something that just feels right all the time. If you're pure about that and your intentions are pure and you work hard and you make the right connections, it has to be successful. And success can be different in many different ways. It can be that for me, it can be that I've met somebody for example, on a dirt bike in Yosemite, and we still talk, and he sees pictures of my place and what I'm doing, and it inspires him to want to come here and want to, like, take that break. That's successful to me. Having all the money in the world would be great, but at the end of the day, it's not going to make you happy, right? So I don't have any doubt that this will be successful. It's to the level of success that society says is successful is the difference.
Do you see yourself as a starter of the community?
As what?
As like that you're going to start certain community?
Oh boy. I don't know about that, and it's not something I would want or plan to do intentionally. If it happens generically or naturally, that's great, but I know that the changes in my life have benefited me immensely, so if others can follow suit, I would be happy to be a small, like, inkling to maybe erase that doubt in their mind, because it doesn't have to be that the people that I connect with want to come be on a farm in Iceland, but maybe they don't want to be in an apartment in New York City. They want to be an artist, or they want to be an athlete, or they want to go hike a mountain or do some other crazy adventure, or even anything. But just to believe in yourself and put the effort in and see it to the finish line.
Cool. I almost out of questions.
Okay. Hopefully my answers are coming. I mean, they're coming very naturally. So
they're great.
Yeah, you didn't have any time to rehearse this or anything.
That's what we need. If we rehearsed it, or if we spoke more before, it's ruined.
Yeah. Okay.
I see. Okay, I might be wrong, but I hear you as a student of nature.
Okay.
So you go, you learn.
Yeah.
Every day. Maybe not nature per se, maybe other things as well. Local people, just being here, your previous experiences, being in Boston as well. But I also hear that maybe you're interested of passing this knowledge that you gather. What is it for you about passing it through?
I just know that there's a lot of people that are stuck in a life that I was stuck in, and we have one life to live, and if you choose to stay there, then that's a choice you make, but there's also another path to take, and maybe it's not going to be the one that, like, everybody's going to agree with, but at the end of the day, it has to be, this is your life, this is you need to be happy. You don't need to maybe not do something because you're afraid of somebody's opinion of you. Like, this is not their life. This is your life. So I know I lived it for a while, and I was nervous to do it, and then just one day I was like, you know what, I gotta change this. So if I can inspire somebody else to do that, then why would I not? Yeah.
Have you faced a lot of friction when you change your life this way from the world around?
I don't think it's friction. I think a lot of people are wondering if I'm maybe going through this crisis or needing a change, and like I'll come back to my senses or something and be back, and maybe just an not understanding of it. But I think slowly now, after 4 years of being in Iceland and now in a year of like focusing on this place and getting my word out, even if it is to, you know, a very small group of people, they're starting to understand why I'm doing it and opening their eyes to it. So I wouldn't say it's a friction, but in the beginning it was definitely like, why are you doing that? I mean, now it's like, when can I come? You know. So, but I mean, with work family balance, there's definitely friction with that, and my 2 boys are very important to me. You know, coming from a broken family and not really having one dad, I can say that I had a dad from till I was about 13, and you know, throughout the rest of my life, whether it was a mentor that came into, you know, I know through being in construction, I had many mentors that I had in construction that were father-ish figures. I don't know if that's because I knew I didn't have a father at that time, but you know, they've been there as a part of it. And getting back to my boys, it's just like I want to be there for them, and I want to always be a part of their life, and to be able to show them that life can be what they want it to be. Yeah.
Is there something that you wish I would ask and I haven't asked? Again, just in case if it comes to your mind, there is space.
I mean, you've asked a lot of great questions.
I have a suggestion.
What's that?
Do you wanna send a secret wish to your voice?
Huh?
It's a secret wish. We record it.
Okay.
But then they might see it, or it might get lost in my own archive because I'm not the most organized person. And then 50 years later they might see it.
Yeah.
So it's like a letter in the bottle that you don't know if they receive it or not. But maybe there is a wish.
I have a wish for you two, Connor and Dylan, that, you know, you live a life full of adventure and full of compassion and exploration, and whether that's what your father's doing now in Iceland and climbing mountains and running across Iceland, or doing extreme sports, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy, at the end of the day, that's what I want you to do. And I don't want you to worry about what other people would think about it, because at the end of the day, it's your life and you're the one that's living it, and whatever you decide to do will be right for you. That's my wish.
Thank you.